welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk Empath. I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. This is the evening edition of my esoteric reports. I spent a lot of time researching astrology and things like that, and patterns and stuff like that, and then I'll go through the course of the day and I'll watch the news, and I'll see how it's playing out in the real world. And boy, I tell you what, man, Scorpio season is in full swing, man. There's over in the UK, there was about, 39 people found dead in the back of a truck, kid 25 years old. It's just weird, all this stuff is being revealed, people really have to freaking listen to themselves and learn how to keep themselves safe, because there's a lot of wolf's clothing in the world, and that veil is falling, and people are really not fit to cope with the psychology of what's going to come down the pike here a little bit, so there's people like me that have had a shit life for freaking, had really scary stuff and just saw the ugly side of humanity for the first while, and we still love people and things and stuff like that. We're kind of cautious, we can help teach you about how to enjoy life and, not live in fear all the time and looking over your shoulder, and, life is meant to be enjoyed, and not a lot of people are enjoying it right now, and so it's calibrating, and it's doing all this alchemy, and it's adjusting, and it's pulling the pistons, and it's, the turbines it's gearing up, and it's just all this rev energy, it's just I was listening to Molly McCord's talk this morning or this afternoon. She puts out a lot of information. We're like-minded. We're in alignment, and she was talking about the lower density reptilian vibes, and some people got that in them. It's in them, but they're just being natural, When like a boa constrictor is constricted, I don't like watching that kind of stuff, and some people do, it's because they're in alignment, and chances are they probably got a little of that DNA in them, because we're just all a mix-match. And actually, I probably am closer to the alignment of the storyline that we all have a little bit of us in it, of it in us, because we all have that potential energy in our charts, astrology. It's just, what do we do with it, what do we do with it? Because, a lot of Virgo energy is stoic and callous and just get it, that's my experience with Virgos. I don't have a lot of Virgo energy. This is my experience, and like the post-it people, I see them with the post-its and cross the T's and dot the I's, and rules, and we'll create rules and amend the rules, and it just all makes a big mess, because there's imbalance. That's, whenever there's, we're only as gross as our secrets. We're only as strong as our weakest link. We're only as good as our worst person, so, and all of these things are valid and actual statements, because we are in fact all connected. And as soon as these freaking low viber, call them whatever you want, low viber, freaking greedy, reptilian, I don't even care what, you just vibe higher so we can get on with making this world a freaking better place, and more people can have fun instead of just a few freaking scum cream of the crap on the top. People can have all the money they want. I don't care. I just don't think that there's some people could have so much while so many have nothing, That's what ticks me off, is the freaking imbalance, and is the injustice, is that the people that control it just say no. It's like they don't deserve it. And it's like, you don't deserve it, So I go out, and every now and again and I have conversations, and I ask people, and I see how far they are waking up in their journey, and people are waking up, man. People are waking. It's not like nobody is. More people are waking up every single day. The only thing is that people, as I've understood it, the biggest thrust from for me personally, that happened with me. The biggest leveling up, like spiritually wise or lessons learned wise, come from the most painful situations. So unfortunately, that's how people are going to be waking up, you know, because they've had a chance to be like, hey, wake up. You can't be a gazillionaire in LA. You can't have billions of dollars, you know, and drive past freaking thousands of homeless people to go to where you work, you know, half of the year to make millions of dollars. It's just, hello, wake up, you can't be like that anymore. And they just keep, I mean, the freaking people with money, it's not their fault. They don't realize, they think that all the money they're raising is like going to the people, but it's going to updating cameras and laptops and getting bigger buildings to have more people they can pay to collect money for the people that need it. Gant. See, I don't care if people agree with me or not. I freaking do not care. I'm a Hellcat. I don't live for that. I'm never going to have a lot of subscribers. I'm never going to have a lot of... That's not what it's for. I live to interject reciprocal thought, 180, inverse thinking. Just think about something different. I don't care if you like me. I don't care. Most people don't like me. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just fine by myself, hanging out by myself. Done it for 45 years. One day at a time. Me and Mom do just fine. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to make some more friends, to make my community a little bit bigger in real life. Tangibly. People will say, hey, you want to go get a cup of coffee? Speaking of, I left it in the house. Yeah, let's go get a cup of coffee. Hey, Zombieland 2's out. Let's go check a matinee. Yeah, let's go do that. Stuff like that, you know. Hopefully maybe someday someone will recognize what I have to say and the potential that I have, you know, because they'll have it in themselves. So when people don't recognize my potential and freaking appreciate the things that I have to say, it's because they're coming from a very limited scope, you know. I'm used to people slow blinking at me, not understanding me, you know, because their spectrum is just so small. So, I don't know, maybe one day someone will see my worth, see my value, and say, hey, I'll give you some money for some of your ideas, and then that'll, you know, support me moving back to Reading, where I can start my Snapnax thing, 'cause I don't want to do it here. So, I mean, I will. I got business cards all over sale, and nobody calls. Or if they call, they don't leave a message, so... It's just all divine timing, and I don't let it trip me up too much, you know. And if people believe more in divine timing and freaking stop putting so much energy into resisting the reality of things so that they can make it exactly how they want to be, because they have an idea, if they get all these you know, house, the person, the car in alignment, then they will have all the joy and blissness that they can muster. And the reality of it is none of those things matters, and you got to get it inside. You got to find it inside, and then when you find it inside, you will match it to your external. Yeah, that's how it works. So it ain't hard. People just make it that way, you know. It's all about what you identify with and are in alignment with. And I don't know, most people are in alignment with football. It's freaking stupid. How many people are freaking, you know, they rattle their brains around, and they freaking beat up their girlfriends, and then they're like, you know, and then they're paid so much money to freaking live in their ego, so that they go out and freaking hurt other dudes, you know, and they freaking take all these supplements and stuff, and it makes them aggressive, and then they go out and they just hurt people, and people pay to watch it. It's no different than the freaking the gladiator era, and I wasn't into stuff that I'm just not into people freaking hurting people for freaking no stuff at all, for any reason. And when you're part of a society and you're sensitive as me, and all you see is people hurting people for monetary gain when money ain't real, man, it's just really can be discouraging. But then you have astrology, and then you have Scorpio seasons for more secrets to be more revealed. And what was it, those 4 stewardess, those flight attendants got arrested because there's people make so much cash. They're just like, here, I'll give you freaking $500, $1,000, or whatever, just put all this cash on you and take it back through customs, and then they figure out how to, slip the system. And it's just like, dude, it's the people that make the system that have created all the loopholes so they can advantage themselves and their friends. It's us that are freaking, we're just pay for it. We just pay for their systems, so they can play, whatever. It's karma. You don't gotta worry too much when you believe in karma, Some days I get fired up. No, absolutely I get fired up. My life ain't how I want it to be. I think about how I can make choices in a heartbeat. I can make things happen in a heartbeat, but you know what? If I ever put my mom someplace where she wasn't with me, that's the kind of guilt that I don't really want to take into another incarnation. So to keep from procuring that vibration of freaking remorse, and see, that's where it stops with me, because she's my whole life. She's like, don't ever put me in. It's just something in her. It's a fear she has. So I promised her a long time ago I wouldn't. So I took a big old pay cut to get out of my career path to freaking hang out with her, because things changed, and she needs a lot of attention. She's low blood sugar and stuff like that, so gotta stay on it, and the time that we spent together the last few years, I love the little lady, and I haven't always loved her, and we got to grow closer, and things are changing, and I'm taking her with me, and seeing I can't even fathom, that's how I'm a Heyoka, is because I do these things that society deems like freaking crazy, and including my brother, just to take care of my mom, my only real family I have, and I do that, and all the while they're like, they sacrifice their time, their health, and do all these things, and they say they're doing it for their family too, but they're not hanging out with them, and I don't think anybody, our parents freaking take care of us for the first 18 years of our lives. At least we can do is give them 18 at the end of theirs, if need be. But people are like, it ain't supposed to be that way. You're supposed to love your parents. Your parents aren't supposed to be creeps and stuff like that. But sometimes we don't always get the rad batch, so we gotta make right with it. But again, that's the kind of karma I don't want to freaking have to incur, because I can't. Money ain't that worth it to me, So I just soon take her along. That's all I got for you now. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.